Can you foresee, or I mean, is there a topic that's come up where you said, nope, I can't live with that. I can't have that taking up space in my brain for however long it's going to be to get a book out? Are there topics you've avoided?
Um, I actually, there's some other events in history, and I'm that I wonder, have felt maybe I can't approach that. Um, there was let me and there are, even when you write about people's lives, if you're writing a whole biography, you don't really have that luxury necessarily to say, oh, I'm not going to deal with that, particularly if it's an important part of the person's life. So this is not a middle grade book, but when I was writing Beauty Mark, a verse novel of Marilyn Monroe, there was a portion of the book, of her life story, of her life, where she was in a psychiatric ward for a few weeks, and I didn't want to go there with her in terms of the writing, but I knew I had to, so I saved that poem for last. Even though I pretty much wrote everything else in the story, in the verse novel, in chronological order. The rest of the poems, I wrote them pretty much in the order that the things happened to her. But that I postponed, because you do have to go there with your character. If it's about an event, you have to be at that, in the midst of that event that's happening, that incident that's happening.
So how do you create that for yourself? What's your process for writing a poem like that or about anything else?
Well, lots and lots of research. The more research, the better. I think the more details that you have, and the more angles from which you're able to view um, uh, an incident or a person, the better the outcome is going to be, the product is going to be. So, a lot of research, and then figuring out, okay, what is the way into this poem, or into this scene, or into this story? Um, what is going to carry it from the beginning to the end of the poem? What is the through line, or the golden thread that's going to provide a fresh perspective, and or make the impact that I want it to make, or that if it's a biography, or that have the impact that this individual would want this telling to have. So yeah, but it all starts with the research. All starts
Do
with the research.
you sit down and make a sort of a formal outline or plan?
No, I'm very informal. I'm very informal. I may at some point, kind of do not really an outline. I'm a note taker and a note maker. So I do post-it notes, and I don't have them up on a wall or anything. They're kind of just on the desk, mixed up with other post-it notes about other things. Um, I do sometimes work in longhand, not very often, but sometimes I do. When I was writing the Marilyn Monroe verse novel, I did a lot of that in longhand. Um, but no, I don't. I'm relatively unstructured, although I can work for long periods of time.
Gotcha. Obviously, no sense asking if you're a pantser or a plotter when you're writing biographies or about history. You know the plot going in. So, what's a successful day look like for you on like a book like Box, where you're writing a series of poems to tell a story? I'm assuming you're not going by word count to judge that. Or do you? How much of your time in a day are you setting aside for writing? And then what's a successful day look like?
A successful day is Maybe when I've finished my research and can actually write. And then if I'm working on a poetry manuscript, now Bach's is a bit different because Bach's is sestets, 6-line poems. And usually I'm not working in a form that's quite that compact, even though my work is spare. It's usually not that spare. So Bach's was a different case. But yeah, generally with a page-long poem, maybe I'm able to get 1 poem or 2 poems done in a day.